dummies out left center.
And here we go live for the semifinal game between Hartville and Morrisville, two former Summit Conference members. That's going to be a ground ball to right center for a base hit, and that's how we get things going here in the top of the first inning. Center fielder number 15, Grant Culver. Adam Smith, Brian Harmon joining you guys here on the Ozark Sports Report YouTube channel. Once again, former Summit Conference members of Hartville and Morrisville.
Hartville's currently a member still.
Hartville is, but Morrisville is out, and I think they're still independent.
Yep, independent.
Just like Notre Dame. And there was actually another school up in Polk County that used to be independent. That was Bolivar.
I believe they joined the OC, is that correct?
I think so. So they get to see the teams of all the Springfield schools except Central, Rolla, Lebanon, and Camdenton, Waynesville and Camdenton, West Plains, of course.
Waynesville.
Oh, I didn't get my Bluetooth thing. 1-1 the count. Now it's 1-2 the count there to Culver. Hartville coming off 2 wins last night, 15-0 against Spokane, and 9-3 against Crane. Morrisville coming off 2 wins as well, winning, I believe, their pool. They were hosted as they beat Billings and Sparta last night. Do you remember the scores from those 2 games?
I do not, but I can find them out. I know they beat Billings 3-0.
Beat Billings 3-0. That was a pretty close game. Billings is looking pretty sharp so far this fall.
Billings has the right pieces.
Swing and a miss right on the outside part, and he is down on strikes. That sends up the batter, Gus Sinning to the plate. Third baseman number 25, Gus Sinning.
Morrisville beat Sparta 13-4, and the other game in that one, Billings beat Sparta 12-0.
12-0, 13-4. And Morrisville is also a really strong team as well, in which they handled Crane pretty well earlier in the fall. I think it was like an 8-3 victory for Morrisville over Crane.
Yes, I believe so.
And that was actually at Morrisville, where Crane, not only did they play Morrisville, they also played Verona, which they beat Verona this year. So it was every year you guys would play Morrisville in the fall and the spring. It would be where one year you guys go up to Morrisville, next year they come down here. And now it was flipped where you guys go up to Morrisville and you guys play on a Saturday.
Yeah, we kind of made that a deal with them in exchange for them coming to our tournament, making the trips. So we go there every fall, and then we alternate back and forth in the spring.
So it's a little bit like a bonus Saturday that you guys have between you guys, Verona, and Morrisville. And it's about the same as when you guys played Clever last year. You guys would play them in Conway at Clever.
That's correct.
I don't know if it's going to be here, if it's going to be at Conway.
Not sure what's going on with that one. New coach at Clever making his schedule, and I'm not sure that's been finalized yet.
0-2 fouled back for Gus Sinning. Let's see if Presley can get him out. Can get out number 2 here in the inning. They got a runner on second base with already 1 man out here in the first. As he goes down on strikes, swung at a high pitch, and there's 2 away.
Presley's got him chasing a couple pitches here early.
Catcher number 17, Colton Cogdill. So you got the Cogdill brothers batting in the 4th and 5th spots for Hartville.
Are they brothers?
I'm not sure, but they got the same name. They may be cousins.
We'll say they're brothers. So by that logic, you and Colby Smith are brothers, correct?
I don't know. There's a lot of Smiths out there.
One of the most common names in
I know my big brother's a former Pirate who actually was on your first ever team as a head coach.
Yes, he was. Freshman moved in.
Moved in from Nixa.
Became quite the player and played 4 years of college baseball. Can't say that about a lot of my former players.
Next pitch outside, and it is 1-2. A little hard to see the count with the sun right on it. This scoreboard has shown its age. I don't know when they put up the current scoreboard here.
I believe it was 2005 or 6, somewhere in that range.
Both teams wearing the blue jerseys. Morrisville in the white pants, the Eagles in the gray pants.
Could get a little dicey if we get a rundown, then won't know who to throw to with the set matching jersey.
That's why you got to look for the pants.
Yeah.
Pitch swung on, and this is going to be a little blooper, but it's going to be right to the shortstop. Line out to the shortstop. We head to the bottom of the first inning. No score between Hartville and Morrisville. Isaac Francisco leads off the bottom of the first inning. He'll face Dakota Stigall, the Hartville leadoff man, on the mound. Panthers and Eagles. I'm used to saying Pirates all the time.
It's
So
different tonight.
it is. Stigall's already ahead, 0-1. Swinging a little foul tip right off the glove of Colton Cogdill's glove, and it is strike 2. From the stretch, way outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Francisco, Burrow, and Brugman are due up. Ground ball right to the third baseman, throw into first, and there is out number 1. Quickly and quietly brings up the batter in Landon Burrow. Center field number 22, Landon Burrow. Landon Burrow, the batter. We don't have any stats of what these guys have done at Morrisville. If I can remember, Hartville came out and they They pretty much sprayed the ball pretty much all over the place against Spokane last night.
They did. They did a good job putting in play both games and making the defense work, putting pressure on defense.
Swing, and that's going to be a little blooper right into right field for a base hit. Tried to throw to first, but he is safe, so he'll be awarded a single. That will send up the batter in Tristan Brugman. Shortstop number 23, Tristan Brugman. Memory I have of Tristan Brugman. It was actually against Crane at Morrisville. He was a sophomore, and he actually homered against us.
He did. I remember that. First that I really heard of him and knew who he was.
They get him. They
Stealing.
got him. Caught stealing there at second base. And he will retreat to back to the Morrisville dugout. We've already got out number 2 here in this game. Another team that looks really strong in the SWCL is Blue Eye.
Blue Eye playing well at this point.
1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs here in the inning. We could see a good pitcher's duel in this game. Both pitchers Morrisville's pitcher has gotten out of the first inning without any zeros. And we already got 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. So as a head coach, did you like the offensive showdowns or the pitcher's duels when you were coaching?
I love coaching the pitcher's duels. Some of the most fun games I ever coached were 1-0 final scores.
Base on balls there for Brugman. He'll be on base, and that sends up Jacob Presley to the plate. Pitcher number 7, Jacob Presley. For me, I would go offense. I love the slug tests. In the game I saw last Sunday between the Cardinals and the Cubs, it was after about an hour-and-a-half rain delay. Both Marcus Stroman and Miles Michaelis, runner goes, they're not going to throw down to first, so it's an easy stolen base there for Brugman. So back to what I was saying, after that hour-and-a-half, 22-minute rain delay between the Cardinals and Cubs, Miles Michaelis and Marcus Stroman were actually locked into a pitcher's duel until the bottom of the 8th inning, and that's when Albert Pujols came in, pinch hit, got 695.
Impressive start by both pitchers. Kind of got overshadowed by the home run, but that's what good hitters do.
That's what they do. And currently, Albert sits at 697 home runs. He's just 3 away from 700. I've been looking at the ticket prices for those, and they are going up.
Brugman takes third on the pitch.
So you got a man on third. So Hartville's first run of the ball game is just 90 feet away. Morrisville's rather. Swing and a miss as
Foul
ball. No, it's strike 3, and that ends the inning. And that will send us to the top of the 2nd inning. No score between Morrisville and Hartville. Welcome back to Tootie Parsons Memorial Stadium. Talking about pitchers duels. So far, Coach Harmon has a memorable one that he knows of about 5 years ago.
Somewhere in there, that range, yeah. It would have been fall of 17, I believe. Wyatt Bott matched up against Blue Eye, and after 9 innings, both teams had to take their starters out. It was scoreless. Had to take them out for the pitch count. And we were able to, actually in the top of the 9th, they had a chance to win it, and Heath Quick threw the go-ahead run out of the plate. And then the bottom of the 10th, Nick Brannon led off with a triple and scored on a sac fly that was dropped. Resulted in an error. Hit by pitch there.
Designated hitter number 35, Gavin Stigall. First pitch he sees, he swings and misses at that one.
Presley works really fast on the mound.
Reminds me of another pitcher for Morrisville about 4 years ago in this actual tournament championship. It was Joshua Bumgarner. Very, very quick on the mound. Didn't waste any time in between pitches.
Yeah, gets the ball back, gets his sign ready to go. Hitters have to do a good job of taking their time. You know, a lot of times it's up to the umpire where he grants that timeout or not. And
swing and a miss, and down he goes. Strike 3. Sends up Ethan McDarris to the plate. Second baseman number 27, Ethan McDarris. So Ethan McDarris at the plate for the Morrisville or the Hartville Eagles, rather.
Presley would not be one that would have to worry about a pitch clock if they had it in high school baseball. He gets the ball in and ready to go.
He's locked in. Sometimes it takes pitchers to settle in.
There's a good job by the hitter there to call timeout. Presley right back up, ready to go. As soon as the hitter's ready, he's going to be in his motion ready to deliver.
Here it comes with the delivery. Right on the inside part, right about at the paint for strike 1. Or for rather strike 2. Nothing in 2, the count to Ethan McDarris. He actually started the game on the mound, I believe, against Crane last night.
Who's that?
McDarris, the guy who's at the plate.
Second base today.
That's the thing about high school pitchers; they can play multiple positions. Everybody's pretty much a utility man.
Gotta have it, especially at the small schools. Sometimes bigger schools, you have some guys that only pitch, only play one position. But smaller schools, you gotta have those guys that can do a lot.
One out here in the inning. Runner on first. That's thanks to the hit by pitch. The next pitch, swinging a foul right to the fly ball. So it's going to be FO9. Brock Jones coming to the plate. Shortstop number 22, Brock Jones. Jones digs in, batting from the right side. He is hitting in the 8th position for Hartville. Also, same thing with lineups. You can also move players around. You know, have one of them hit leadoff, another one hit in the 9th position.
Gotta have that versatility.
Especially with when you go to the majors, you see the Cardinals. They've moved people around. I think it depends on determines how they're hitting, what their average is at the plate,
What pitcher they're facing. Lots of things go into it.
Very strategic.
Lots of computerized data these days. Managers used to go with their gut and play hunches.
Ground ball. That's going to be a base hit. And that's going to have runners at the corners with 2 away. Sends up Jalen Cryer to the plate. Right fielder number 32, Jalen Cryer. So actually, Pirates faced Crier on last night. I got a lineup in for. Wait, that was Monday's lineup. So after this game is concluded, it will be Purdy taking on Blue Eye, two SWCL members. So we go from Summit to Summit Independent and SWCL, SWCL.
Yeah, you're bound to have some SWCL matchups in this tournament. 7 of the 12 teams are from the SWCL. A couple Summit teams.
One Independent, one, I believe Mark Twain, I think it's where Hurley is.
Mark Twain.
Week 7.
Wheaton's in the Ozark 7.
I always keep forgetting who all's in that Ozark 7. Because that's going to be an out to strike 3 in the dirt. And that ends the inning. So, on just one base hit, no runs were scored, we head to the bottom of the second inning. No score between Hartville and Morrisville. Colby Pelham leads it off for the the Morrisville Panthers. Here in the bottom of the second inning of play, big tall lefty at the plate. First pitch he watches is a ball 1-0. 1-1 actually. The pitch, swing, and that is going to be rifled into right field for a base hit. Dunks it right in front of the right fielder. Good swing. It goes upstairs in the count, or in the zone. Designated hitter number 18, Garrett Loftus. So it's Garrett Loftus now up to bat for the Panthers. As we see, Purdy has just arrived. Once again, they will play Blue Eye. Have you ever seen a Blue Eye Purdy matchup before?
Don't believe I have in person.
Neither have I. I've seen Blue Eye play Forsyth before. That was at the SWCL tournament. That was always one of my favorite that was always one non-crane matchup I would want to see. Was a Forsyth Blue Eye game whenever they were both in the SWCL.
At that point, they were both very strong teams.
Yes, they were. Blue Eye coached by Dickey, I believe is his last name.
Jack Dickey.
Jack Dickey and
John Gilly before that.
John Gilly.
Had some good teams.
And then not Byron Richardson, the other Richardson. Neil Richardson and Jim Julian, who's now at Glendale. He's been at Glendale ever since.
Went back home, back to his alma mater.
Pitch outside, and it's going to be a walk issued for there for Loftus. Sends in Lewis to the plate. Catch number 13, Ben Lewis. Ben Lewis digs in. Nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Little blooper. Goes to third.
Bunted that way too hard.
Sends in Connor Stockton to the plate. Third baseman number 15, Connor Stockton. So if you want to get a good bunt down, what is the big key to get a perfect bunt?
You just got to get on top of the ball, and you got to keep it away from the pitcher. Anything back to the pitcher, oftentimes, as was the case there, results in a force out.
Results in a force out.
They get the lead runner.
Two balls and no strikes account to Ben Lewis of the Morrisville Panthers, batting from the right side.
This is Stockton.
Rather.
Lewis reached on the bottom.
So Stockton at the plate, batting from the right side, swing and a miss, and that is 2-2. The count there on Connor Stockton. Next pitch is going to be a foul ball. Keeps the ball at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Purdy, I believe, will take the home or the visitors' dugout, which means Blue Eye will probably take the home dugout. Here comes a run scored. Helmet flies out, slides in, and it is 1-0 in favor of Hartville. That will bring in Colton Jett to the plate. Second baseman number 33, Colton Jett. So how you score that would be a
Single move to second on the throw.
single move to second on the throw, run scored. So Jett at the plate, batting from the right side. A little bit of a tall kid, lanky kid. The pitch, little ground ball. This is going to get through. This is going to be a base hit. That's going to plate 1 run. And Morrisville is going to be up to a 2-0 lead. That's going to reset the lineup for Isaac Franska. Left fielder number 24, Isaac Franska. Isaac Franska, the batter. He grounded out to the third baseman his last plate appearance. So he's going to look to get on base. Runners at the corners with just 1 man out. After this, we'll see Purdy take on Blue Eye, an SWCL matchup. First pitch to Franska is 0-1. Runner goes down. Runner tried to hesitate there at third base, but he gets back. Almost tried to score on that pitch. 0-1 the count. That was a good decision to get back to third. Swing, and that is going to be a blooper right into shallow center. That plays a run, and it's already 3-0 Morrisville. RBI single brings in Landon Burrow to the plate. Center fielder number 22, Landon Burrow. Landon Burrow to the plate for Morrisville. As I see as we look at the Purdy coaching staff, I see Coach Hughes has gotten 2 new coaches. I believe they're former players of yours. Is that right?
That is correct.
Ricky Aldaba and Jake Brown. And what do they do for your Purdy club as coaches?
Bring sanity to the coaches.
Yeah. They do a great job of throwing batting practice, hitting ground balls, and hitting fly balls, so I don't have to do as much.
Get back to me when you've done that for 10 years.
Ricky says he's staying with me until his little brother graduates, so that's another 6.
Well, that's good.
All right. 1 ball, 2 strikes account to Landon Burrow, batting from the right side.
Left side.
Left side, rather. Left side if you're looking at from the mound. Ground ball. Second baseman throws to first, run scores. That's going to be an RBI ground out to the second baseman. Brings in the third man, Tristan Brugman. Shortstop number 23, Tristan Brugman. Brugman drew a walk in his last plate appearance, batting from the right side. The pitch. Outside, strike 1. Now, both of you guys, as a hitter, would you guys favor the inside pitch or the outside pitch?
If I'm looking to drive it, I want it in.
As a hitter, I preferred the pitch outside of the strike zone so that I could maybe drop walk when I was not a very good hitter.
I'm pretty sure you two have played against each other as players.
No.
I ain't that old.
I'm sure I coached against him when he was at Wheaton.
Mm-hmm.
He was a player at Wheaton.
What was your first year coaching?
93.
Yep.
Right back to the screen, and it's
If we played you then.
2 balls and a strike.
What year did you graduate?
99.
So yeah, the 10-year difference between Coach Brian Harmon and Coach Josh Hughes.
Yeah. Better looking too.
Strikeout looking, I believe. Is he
Swinging.
swinging, actually? So KS on the scorebook as we head to the top of the 3rd inning. It is a 3-0 Morrisville lead. Siegel will lead things off here in the top half of the third inning. No time limits today, as this is the semifinal rounds. Winners go to the championships, and the ones that succumb will head to third place. So joined by former head coach of the Crane Pirates, Coach Brian Harmon, and current head coach of the Purdue Eagles, Coach Josh Hughes. And so, Coach Hughes, this season you guys said you've played probably one of the best games you guys have played, and that was against Hurley. So break me down what happened in those two games against Wheaton and Hurley.
Early on against Wheaton, we didn't hit the ball very well. They walked us and made a couple mistakes, and we got a little bit of a lead, and finally started doing something later in the game. But against Hurley, everything was
Center
crisp.
fielder number 15, Grant Colbert.
Everything was crisp. Defensively, we played really well. Pitching, we threw it really well, and then we finally we executed at the plate. We did not. We hit and ran. We stole. We bunted. We did everything correctly. So it was a fun game to be a part of.
Third baseman number 25, Gus Sinning. And it was, and you guys had a little bit of a cold start to this fall. As you know, I'm not sure how many guys you lost to graduation last year, but as we stated, you have two former players, Ricky Aldaba and Jake Brown. Jake Brown, I believe, graduated about a year or two ago, maybe a couple years.
21.
Class of 21. So bringing him into the coaching staff, what did he mostly succeed as, and what's he going to be teaching when he was a player for you?
Right now we're as a coaching staff, we're really working and trying to develop our mental toughness. Baseball wise, we're pretty talented. We can do some things on defense, on the mound, and at the plate, but we get kind of down on ourselves. So I'm trying to bring in what my experience when I was a player, and then also what the experience of what Coach Brown and Coach Aldaba brings whenever they were a player.
Number 17, catcher, Colton Cogdill. So just going through the experiences of you as a player, you didn't actually play high school ball at Purdy. You played at Wheaton, which is, I don't know how far Wheaton and Purdy are from each other.
10, 15 minutes.
Not too far away, so kind of going to Wheaton's next door neighbor in Purdy. And so, do you remember who your head coach was when you were playing at Wheaton?
Oh yeah, Tracy Prigg was the coach for a little while, and then Bob Deffenbaugh was the coach, I believe, my junior and senior year. And Tracy was passed away a couple of years ago. Was a great guy, and I still see Bob every once in a while down at Cassville. He moved over to Cassville and did some coaching down there and teaching. So it was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. And so, do they have different coaching styles? How would each coach the game of baseball? How would they coach? Are they different or are they similar?
Oh, very different. Coach Prigg he demanded
First baseman number 8, Peyton Cogdill.
He demanded excellence, and he would tell you about it if you weren't excellent. And I think a lot of my coaching style has probably learned a lot from him and Lee Smith down in Dalton County. I played for him, Legion ball, and then of course some stuff from the college coaches I played with. And then Bob Deffenbaugh was more laid back, kind of just let you play type of coach.
Let you play. One of them was more demanding of excellence. Now, Coach Harmon, between you and Coach Conrad, when you were a coach for him and when you were a player for him, what style did he coach?
He was a hitter-oriented coach. We had a lot of good hitters. Not me not being one of them, but we had a lot of good hitters, and a lot of that was because he developed those hitters. we had the pitching to go with it. We had some really, really good teams.
2 away, as there's runners at second and third. With 2 outs, Morrisville has pretty much kept Hartville under control, not allowing any runs to score in the first 2 innings of play. We're already here in the third, swinging a fly ball, center field. Center fielder's got it for out number 3. This will send this game on to the bottom of the 3rd inning, halfway home between Hartville and Morrisville.
See it?
Yep. Underneath the St. Louis sign.
That's right.
Jacob Presley will be the man leading off for the Morrisville Panthers. Struck out swinging his last plate appearance back in the first inning of play. So far, so good between Morrisville and Hartville. Hartville had their marathon inning scoring 4 runs. And I'm sure you guys love those marathon innings when you guys are up to bat, don't you?
Yeah, when we're up to bat.
Not when you're in the field. Do you guys have any good stories that you could tell about some marathon innings that you guys have had, either as players or as coaches?
Yeah, I don't want to hear Harmon tell his story about the time he come back and beat me. So I'll talk. We were playing at Hammond's Field against Pierce City back in 2008 maybe, and we were down 6 or so going into the last inning, and come back and tied it up. Went 8 innings, ended up winning it in 8 innings, and that was kind of neat to be on that field and have that atmosphere and be a part of something like that. So
Very prestige for high school players to be playing at Hammond's Field. He ropes that all the way to the fence. That's going to be a double, leadoff double there for Presley, and that sends in the veteran Colby Pelham to the plate. First baseman number 9, Colby Pelham. Like even playing at US Ballpark for the for state, or whether it's SWCL, which I believe SWCL is going to be at US Ballpark, as we see Coach, it's either Coach Welsh or that's Coach Keith coming out, talk things over with the Hartville infield. And this could be it for Stiggles. He's given up 4 runs on, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base hits. So 4 runs on 5 hits. Stigall will leave the game. Possibly take another.
Looks like Coryell's leaving the game.
So Coryell will be leaving. He'll be.
Delcor enters the game.
So it's Delcor who
Number
comes
5.
into the game. I can find his name, Hunter Delcor. Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Eagles, number 5, Hunter Delcor. So Delcor exits after Stigall has given up 4 runs on 5 base hits. You can tell that Welsh has seen enough. And when do you say you've seen enough and get ready to pull a pitcher?
Yeah, I mean, that's an in-game decision that, you know, if a guy's struggling finding the zone, it's going to be pretty quick. If a guy's pounding the bottom zone and they're getting bleeders or bloops, you maybe stay with them a little bit longer. If you got a lead or if you're down by a lot and you need them to eat up innings, sometimes you just feel sorry for the kid, but you leave him in. And then some years you're very fortunate that you got 7 or 8 guys can throw at the varsity level.
Of course, Ellen coming in, he's singled back in the second inning, and so Morrisville they had a good inning in the second, scoring 4 runs there in the second on 4 hits, and just picked up another base hit here in 3 base hits in the second. They had just one in the first. Swing and a miss, and it is now 0-2 the count.
Right.
From Delcor. 0-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he's down on strikes. Brings up the batter in Garrett Loftus. Designated hitter number 18, Garrett Loftus. Loftus drew a walk his last plate appearance. That was back in the second inning. So they were able to get one out here already get one out with the new pitcher. They're in once again Delcor. Nothing in 1 the count, 1 out. Once again to Garrett Loftus. Got a man on second. Been a beautiful day today here in Southwest Missouri. And talking about this Crane tournament, this is probably one of the best tournaments in the fall. You know, you get 12 teams, 4 sites: Crane, Morrisville, Galena, and Purdy. And which those are pool play, and then everybody comes to Crane on that Thursday. Tomorrow night's the rain day, and then Saturday is where it all comes to a close, where everybody but I believe 4 teams are in Crane. And this year the other site is going to be Galena. With what we heard, it is Galena and Hurley and Spokane taking on
Galena plays Billings.
Spokane, Hurley, Galena, Billings.
Yeah, it's something our kids look forward to. I mean, playing with wood bats, it's something different. It's exciting. Get to see, you know, a lot of times we'll play either Hartville or Conway, and you know we don't have them on our schedule, or you know we get to see some guys that that know how to play the game, and you know, I asked Coach Harmon to send me the results of the last few years.
Coach number 13, Ben Lewis.
You know, just to see the rich history of of the tournament, who's won it, and everything. You know, back, I don't know, Coach Harmon, how long has it been 12 teams?
This will be the 4th year of 12 teams.
fourth year of 12 teams. I believe it used to be 10 teams or 8 teams, and 2 sites here, and I think it either rotates here in Purdy. It's like your tournament in the spring where it's here and at Purdy.
Yeah, and that's it's an awesome opportunity to, like we said, to play some teams and to get some games in. 4 of the 12 are going to get 4 games in about 4 days, and the other 8 get 3 games in 4 days. So it's a really neat tournament. And I love the guys at Fundraiser U. I mean, they've done a great job of taking care of us and our program, and then to have them sponsor this tournament. I've got to see those guys a couple times this week when they bring the bats, and they showed up last night to the tournament and that we hosted. So it's just a real neat opportunity for our kids to be a part of this.
It is, and Crane and Purdy not too far away from each other, about 15 miles away.
A little bit more.
20,
yeah,
25.
probably 25. But yeah, it's not a bad drive, and we like coming down here. It's
Chopper foul.
It's like you said earlier, it's going to be different not seeing Coach Harmon in the dugout, but there are some guys in that dugout that learn from him, so I'm sure they're going to be very competitive and do a great job.
Exactly, and that's when you see players who are strike 3 in the third. They
Foul
foul ball.
I think I would have let that stay fair and got the out.
Yeah, you give up a run though.
Yeah, you would. And so, do you also have a fall tournament as well?
Yeah, it's something that it's kind of in the fall, and I was talking to Hurley's coach last night, and the night before Southwest coach, and then Exeter's the other team. We play each other so much in the fall, but if you don't play, then you're not getting any games. And so, it's just giving us 3 more games that that everybody gets to play. So
Third baseman number 15, Connor Stockton. So Connor Stockton up to the plate for there for Morrisville. Singled his last plate appearance. One out here in the inning with runners at first and second base. First and third, rather. Runners at the corners. And still 1 out. Here in the bottom of the third. This is the part where we're halfway home. High school ball playing 7 innings until you get to the big leagues where you're playing 9. College you can play 9 or you can play 2 7s. And with high school ball for players who are going to be going off to college, could this be preparation, like once they come juniors and seniors? Run scores as the ball gets away. This is going to plate another run. And that's going to make it 7-0 Morrisville. Sends up Colton Jett to the plate. Second baseman number 33, Colton Jett. Jett, what did you do in the last game or last?
Single, RBI single.
Had an RBI single. His last plate appearance. So in the last one, that was a fielder's choice, I think.
There's an error on the pitcher.
Oh, error. E1 on the pitcher. Colton Jett digs into the plate in the 9th position. And so I believe I'm sure both of you guys have had some strong 9th batters that have come up to the plate.
yeah, and I think there's something to be said about a guy in the 9 hole that can get on. Sometimes you get a younger kid that can play a little bit, and you're just
Left fielder number 24, Isaac Franska.
And then sometimes you just got a 9 hole that just grinds at bats and walks and gets some hits occasionally. So yeah, it's nice if you can have a 9 hole that knows how to get on base.
Of course. Because back in the old National League rules, the 9th man was always the pitcher. The pitchers usually wasn't the strongest hitter, but there has been some pitchers who can actually get some base hits in the bigs.
Yeah, for a few years, there's a couple managers that batted the pitcher in the 8-hole, which I would have done.
Center field number 22, Landon Burrow. Coach Harmon, I'm sure you've had some 9th-hole batters that have been some strong hitters as well.
Always try to get a guy down there that gets on base, and it's nice to have some speed. Usually your leadoff man has some speed. You don't want somebody in front of him clogging up the bases and slowing things down.
Swinging a little tap or foul. 7-0 our score in favor of Morrisville. And who knows, we might see a Purdy Morrisville championship if Morrisville can keep Hartville scoreless or to a minimum. Fly ball, center field. They throw to the shortstop, and it's going to be deep enough to score the run, so it's going to be a sac fly to the center fielder. Shortstop number 23, Tristan Brookman. I'm sure, Coach Hughes, you faced both Hartville and Morrisville in this tournament, I believe. Isn't that right?
Yeah, we've seen them both, in the past. Last Friday we were very fortunate to go up to Morrisville and get away with the win. I mean, it was one of those games that anybody could have won, 15-13. Neither pitching staff was great, and so it's just one of those things that we've got to have an opportunity to get there. We got to get through Blue Eye first and see which one we face. So.
Nine 9-0 our score after, I believe, after a base hit and an error. Brings in the batter in Jacob Presley. Pitcher number 7, Jacob Presley. Big guy at the plate for Morrisville. Two away here in the bottom of the third inning. 9-0 our score in favor of Morrisville. Morrisville just pouring the concrete on Hartville for gets him right. There is the ends the inning. That'll send this game on to the top of the 4th inning. It is 9-0 in favor of Morrisville. Gavin Sigel digs into the plate.
My backup, the guy he's the agent for, my backup first baseman, I put him over at first. I'm like, boom, there's no reason why. And I said, now, tell me why you think you're
Struck out swinging his last plate appearance.
I said that.
First pitch to him was a strike, 0-1.
But what did we have?
Coach Harmon, there's actually been one year where this whole tournament wasn't even at Crane. You guys had to play, I believe, at Forsyth. Is that correct?
Yes, there were no games at Green that year. The tournament actually started at Hurley and finished up at Forsyth.
That I ended up playing the next game, the second game.
1-1 the count to Stigl.
Before, it sat the bench and played something. We can't see it for crap. We can't be good. What do you do? He goes 1 for 2. The other kid.
I saw Coach Welch pretty much just break down his players or break down his team after the third inning of play. Swing and a miss, and it is
I better get over there with my guys. Otherwise, they won't.
2-2. 2-2 the count to third is Stigl. Swing and a miss, and he is down on strikes. Sends in Ethan McDarris to the plate. Second baseman number 27, Ethan McDarris. Flew out to right field. That was Ethan McDarris. He bats from the right side. Morrisville working through the heart of the order for Hartville. What do we got? You got the 6th, 7th, and 8th men in the lineup. Fly ball, got it for out number 2. Fly out to the second baseman, sends up Brock Jones. Shortstop number 22, Brock Jones. Jones reached on a single his last time up back in the second inning of play. You can tell that Presley has really settled in here in this fourth inning of play. I mean, he's got a 9-0 lead to protect. But in high school baseball, no lead is safe.
Yeah, just ask. 2017,
18.
18.
Throw down right to the third baseman right to first, and a quick 1-2-3 inning. 5-3 on the ground out. We head to the bottom of the fourth. It is 9-0 in favor of Morrisville. Colby Pelham leads it off for the Morrisville Panthers. And if I was to ask you, Coach Harmon, what is your definition of a Panther?
When I think Panther, I think of my college alma mater, Drury. But then, you also think of Forsyth. We played them so many times, and Morrisville, we're getting up there and playing them so many times. So just it's something I wouldn't want to mess with if I met one in person.
Me neither. I bet they are pretty mean. First Panther I've heard of is the Carolina Panthers.
I imagine that could be mean. I remember the days before there were Carolina Panthers, before they were an expansion.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
They made it to the NFC Championship game in their second season of existence, as did the Jacksonville Jaguars, same season. Both fell short of
1997, was that correct?
Sounds about right. I'll trust you on that.
Swing and a miss as he is down on strikes. Sends up Garrett Loftus to the plate. Designated hitter number 18, Garrett Loftus. And both Panthers are a pretty good distance away from Crane. Forsyth will being the closest Panthers to here. About an hour's drive from here.
Probably, yeah.
And Morrisville about an hour and 10 minutes from here.
Yeah. A little better roads to Morrisville.
Mm-hmm.
A little shorter trip to Forsyth.
1 ball and 1 strike. The count to Loftus. He's the DH. Swings and hits it right off the end of the bat, past the third baseman's glove. That's going to be a base hit. So it's going to be a single there for Loftus, and Morrisville just keeps on hitting. Catcher number 13, Ben Lewis. Ben Lewis so far, fielder's choice and an RBI single. His last 2 plate appearances. One out in the inning here between the Panthers and Eagles. Those 2 teams also a good distance from each other too.
Yes.
1 ball, no strikes. The count to Lewis. Strike, says the home plate umpire. It is 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm not particularly sure if Welsh was, if this is his actual first actual coaching job at Hartville, or if he has come in from a different school after replacing Horn.
I know he was an assistant for Coach Horn. I don't know if he had a head coaching job before that, but I do know he is an assistant.
Nothing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Count to Ben Lewis. Once again, Adam Smith, Brian Harmon joining you guys. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning between Morrisville and Hartville. If Morrisville is to score another run, then that would mean a run rule in traditional high school baseball.
Then we'd have to get through the 5th before they
Get through the 5th inning. But no time limits, no like tournament run rules.
Not for the semifinals or in championship.
So they can play as long as they want. They can even go all the way to. They can go all the way to about 12:30 at night.
Let's not do that.
Because I believe that game you guys played, or that Crane played against Ellington at the beginning of the season, ended at like almost 12:30.
12:40, I believe. We were
Almost 1 a.m.
About 12:30, yeah. We were back to school about 1:40 on the bus.
Woo!
Foul ball wakes them up in the dugout. Yeah.
Foul ball, yes, it does. And I'm sure there's been some late road trips.
Oh, yeah.
Hartville tournament is, of course, that's always been a late road trip coming back.
Yes, we always, in the past, have played the late game on Friday and then played early Saturday afternoon. And then a final game later in the day on Saturday, depending on where we fell in our pool.
And I remember one year during the Hartville tournament, it was really cold. There's been some cold games. There's been some games where it's been sweltering hot.
We played 2 that night, and the second one was against Morrisville. Started about 9 o'clock. Wind chills were very low.
Yeah.
One of the coldest games I've ever taken part in.
What do you think the temperature was that day?
I believe at game time it was in the 30s with the wind chill in the 20s. As the game finished, we were
Third baseman number 15, Connor Stockton.
we were probably in the low 20s wind chill when the game ended.
Well, I bet you were looking forward to getting on a nice warm bus.
I definitely left there probably feeling a lot colder than than Norwood's coach, because
You said Morrisville before?
yeah, it was actually Norwood.
Norwood, yeah.
It was Norwood's coach probably felt warmer than I did because they won the game and we didn't.
Swing, and that is ripped, and that is foul. I believe that one landed right on the tracks. Crazy thing about this ballpark is you're situated right by the creek. You got the tracks. It's about a football field's length between the third base dugout and the train tracks, if I'm correct. The creek just sits right behind the left field or the right field fence. Umpire calls it a strike, and it is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swinging a fly ball off the end of the bat. The right fielder has it for out number 1 here, or out number 2 here in the 4th. Sends up the batter in Colton Jett to the plate. Second baseman number 33, Colton Jett. Jett with 2 singles, one of them scored a run. 2 outs in the inning with 2 men on first and second. I'm also sure you played in a game where it snowed as well.
We've done that as well. Actually, that Norwood game I was talking about had some snow flurries that night.
But
Well, more than flurries. It was coming down pretty good. It wasn't sticking to the ground, but it's coming down pretty good at one point.
and we've had a rare snow out too a couple years ago, April 20th,
Yeah.
2021. I don't remember if you guys had a game on May 3rd of 2013 when it actually snowed here.
I don't know.
Don't remember.
I don't believe so, because I think that 2021 was the first snow out I'd actually had.
That's crazy about our weather here in the state of Missouri, is it could be, especially when it comes to baseball, it could be 35 degrees with a 40-mile-per-hour wind gust coming in from the north, or it could be 85 and sunny.
If you don't like the weather in Missouri, just wait a few minutes. It'll change.
3-2 the count is that's going to be a walk to Jett, as that is a player that Hartville just cannot figure out. They just can't send him back to the dugout.
Been all over the bases today.
Left fielder number 24, Isaac Franska.
Franska with a chance to put him up by 10 was able to do that, and they hold Hartville in the top of the 5th.
Pitch swing and a foul ball going towards the highway. This ballpark, you do have to be aware of your surroundings, especially with foul balls that go right along, that go past 413. It goes right beyond our first base side here at Crane. Have you ever had to tell a player to watch out for cars when he's chasing a foul ball?
Definitely. Got dangers all around. Third base side, you got the railroad tracks. First base side, you got a highway. Outfield side, you got a creek that sometimes gets on top of the field.
Mm-hmm.
Way too often in my book.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Isaac Franska. 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. They can score 1 more run, which that run is hits them, and that is going to later run 10-0 our score. So the traditional run rules, this game will end in 5. Not if Hartville can break the scoreless tie, can get a run. Center fielder number 22, Landon Burrow. Landon Burrow, the batter for Hartville, batting from the left side. 2 singles and an RBI groundout, so he's helped him. He's done a lot of work at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes count. Sun's starting to peek through the thin layer of clouds. It was cloudy earlier today, and then the sun came out right, I'd say about an hour or 2 before game time. Ooh, nice play. Almost
Just out of reach.
just out of reach. Like I say, you've also played on some unusual unusual field as well.
Yeah.
Dadeville, of course.
Yeah, before they made some changes to their field, it was
Shortstop number 23, Tristan Brugman.
different than any I'd ever been on. Actually, not completely different. Spokane, way back years ago in my high school days, had the same slope in right field where you couldn't see the right fielder if you were standing in certain parts. Strangest I ever played on was in high school, Galena's old field, which sits where their high school parking lot is now. There was a fence 180 feet to the right field line. That fence ran in a straight line along the highway to center field. Specific ground rules there. There was a light pole in right center field. If you hit the ball over the fence to the center field side of the light pole, it was a home run. If it was to the right field side of the light pole, it was a ground rule double. Unless it cleared the highway, then it became a home run. So you had to watch the bounce. And saw some wacky plays there. One of the hardest hit balls I ever saw. John Jenkins hit one that was probably going to go 350 feet or more, and
I bet that ball's somewhere.
It actually, as squarely as could possibly happen, it hit that light pole and bounced right back to the second baseman, and John Jenkins had a single.
So it was I don't know if you'd call it a ground rule single or what.
It was just a single because the ball bounced back too quick, and he had nowhere to go. John hit a lot of home runs in his career, but that may have been hit harder than any ball he ever hit.
Inside's going to get Brugman. And that's going to play another run. 11-0 Morrisville. 12-0 now Morrisville. Now it's going to send up Jacob Presley to help his own cause. Pitcher number 7, Jacob Presley. Already have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a fly ball. Left center field is going to get down in for a base hit. He smoked that pitch. And that's going to play 1 and 2. So that is the 3 now. So that is the 15-run rule.
We still got
That's a 15-run rule. So final score here in 4 innings: Morrisville 15, Hartville 0. And let me tell you, Morrisville came out after the first 2 scoreless innings after the scoreless inning in the first, they came out swinging and they got to Stigall. So we got one more game tonight. That's going to be the Purdy and Blue Eye semifinal game. That will determine who Morrisville will play in the championship. So don't go away. We'll be right back for another game. So stick around, everybody.